Just a few days ago, Gabrielle was a tropical storm we were watching, sure, but it almost seemed forgettable in what's been a surprisingly quiet Atlantic hurricane season. Well, that has changed dramatically. This is Gabrielle now, a monstrous, perfectly formed Category 4 hurricane, a buzzsaw in the middle of the Atlantic that has gone through a shocking and explosive transformation. What we're witnessing is a meteorological nightmare unfolding in real time. The satellite loops are stunning, the intensification numbers are frankly off the charts, and forecasters are on high alert. We're going to break down this incredible change from a messy tropical storm into a major hurricane. We'll look at the stunning satellite imagery, explain the forces behind its explosive growth, track where this monster is going, and detail the serious, life-threatening impacts it's having right now, even from hundreds of miles away. To really get what happened here, you need to see the before and after. Just 48 hours ago, Gabrielle was a lopsided, struggling tropical storm. Satellites showed a disorganized blob of thunderstorms, fighting an environment that was barely letting it survive. Fast forward to today, and what we see is the stuff of hurricane nightmares. A perfectly symmetrical storm, a stadium-sized, clear eye staring right back at you, and a solid wall of the most intense thunderstorms possible. This isn't just a hurricane. It's a textbook example of a powerful, mature, and extremely dangerous major hurricane. The jump in intensity has been breathtaking, and it's one of the most significant rapid intensification events we've seen this year. This shocking transformation is the story, and we're going to get into exactly how it happened. The setup. A deceptively quiet beginning to understand Gabrielle. You have to understand the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season because context is everything. The season kicked off back on June 1st, and for months it was mostly quiet. The first named storm didn't even spin up until late June, and through July and August, the Atlantic just wasn't very friendly for development. We saw a few storms, but nothing that left a major mark. Even as we neared the statistical peak of the season on September 10th, things were unusually calm. The season's total horsepower, what we call the accumulated cyclone energy, or ACE, tells the story. As of right now, the IC for the 2020 season is around 48.7, which is roughly 42% below the average for 1991 to 2020. So by almost every measure, the season has been a bit of an underachiever. This can create a dangerous sense of complacency, that feeling that maybe we're going to get an easy year. It was into this quiet patch that a tropical wave moved off Africa on September 11th. For days, it struggled against dry, stable air. On September 16th, it finally started to get its act together, and by the next morning, it was named Tropical Storm Gabrielle. The first forecasts weren't setting off major alarm bells. Models showed a storm that would probably become a hurricane, but then curve harmlessly out to sea, a classic fish storm. It was a manageable problem, a storm to watch, but not one keeping anyone up at night. The stage was set, but no one saw the dramatic turn that was coming. The escalation, the shocking transformation, the jump from a manageable storm to a catastrophic nightmare happened with stunning speed. The term we use is rapid intensification, which means wind speeds increase by at least 35 miles per hour in 24 hours. Gabrielle didn't just meet that benchmark. It absolutely shattered it. On Sunday, September 21st, Gabrielle was a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 75 miles per hour. By Monday morning, everything had changed. In less than 12 hours, its winds had skyrocketed from 90 miles per hour to 120 miles per hour, launching it to major Category 3 status. But it wasn't done. The intensification kept going, and it peaked as a monstrous Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. Do the math on that, Gabrielle. Its winds increased by a staggering 45 miles per hour in just a 12-hour window. The storm's central pressure, a key sign of its strength, plummeted, signaling a storm strengthening at an explosive rate. So, what on earth happened? How did this storm blow up so spectacularly? Three key ingredients came together to create this perfect storm of intensification. First, and most importantly, ocean heat. Hurricanes are heat engines, and they run on warm water. Gabrielle moved over a pocket of exceptionally warm water that provided the high-octane fuel it needed to spin up. Second, the atmosphere around it became pristine. A huge factor is wind shear, the change in wind speed and direction as you go up. High shear tears a hurricane apart. For Gabrielle, the shear dropped to almost nothing. Think of a spinning top. On a smooth surface, it spins perfectly. But if you blow on it from the side, it wobbles and falls. Gabrielle found itself in a bubble of calm air that let its engine roar to life. Third, the storm developed excellent outflow, like a perfectly working chimney. As air spirals into the storm at the surface, it has to go somewhere. It rises up and gets vented away at the top. A healthy outflow lets the storm pull in even more warm, moist air, supercharging the engine. When you watch the satellite loop from this period, the transformation is both mesmerizing and terrifying. You can literally see the storm lock into place. What was a shapeless blob of thunderstorms tightened into a core, and then it happened. The holy grail of a powerful hurricane appeared, a clear, well-defined eye. That was the moment we knew we were dealing with a completely different animal. The climax and implication, a monster on the loose. At its peak, Hurricane Gabrielle is a formidable Category 4 storm, a true monster churning in the Atlantic with sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. It's the second major hurricane of the 2025 season. Right alongside Hurricane Erin, a hurricane this intense can cause catastrophic damage. And while Gabrielle is forecast to stay over open water, its influence is massive. So where is this beast right now? As of the latest advisories, Gabrielle is located about 305 miles east-northeast of Bermuda. It's moving toward the northeast at around 13 miles per hour, a track that steers it away from a direct hit on land. And that is incredibly fortunate. However, a storm this powerful doesn't need to make landfall to be dangerous. Its reach is enormous. First, Bermuda. The island has been spared the eyewall, but even from hundreds of miles away, Gabrielle is making its presence felt with hazardous surf and life-threatening rip currents. The second area of major concern is the east coast of the United States. Even though Gabrielle is over 1,000 miles away, its energy is traveling across the entire Atlantic basin. Huge swells generated by the hurricane are hitting the U.S. coastline all the way from North Carolina up into New England and even Atlantic Canada. This is creating a widespread threat of dangerous surf and deadly rip currents. It is absolutely critical for anyone near the East Coast to heed local warnings and stay out of the water. This is the hidden danger of a powerful offshore hurricane. It can bring deadly conditions to shores far, far away. So where is Gabrielle headed next? The forecast shows it continuing northeast across the open Atlantic. It will gradually weaken as it moves over cooler water, but interests in the Azores, an archipelago about 850 miles off the coast of Portugal, are being advised to monitor the storm's progress. It's expected to approach the Azores later this week and could still bring significant wind and rain. The bigger picture and what's next. Hurricane Gabrielle doesn't exist in a vacuum. It fits into the broader and somewhat contradictory story of the 2025 hurricane season. As we said, this season has been statistically quieter than average. With only 7 named storms so far and a low ACE value, the overall activity has been suppressed. This makes the presence of 2 major hurricanes, Erin and Gabrielle, all the more significant. It's a powerful lesson. A quiet season doesn't mean a safe season. It only takes one, and that brings us to rapid intensification. These explosive strengthening events, like we saw with both Erin and Gabrielle, seem to be happening more often. There's a growing body of scientific evidence linking this trend to warming ocean temperatures, which provide more fuel for these storms to grow faster and stronger. Looking ahead, the Atlantic is not done yet. The season runs until November 30th, and we are still in the active part of it. Forecasters at the National Hurricane Center are currently monitoring 2 other tropical waves out in the Atlantic. One, in the central tropical Atlantic, has a high chance of developing into a tropical depression later this week. A second, more disorganized wave is located east of the Windward Islands and also has a medium chance of developing. These aren't immediate threats, but they're a clear sign that the tropics are still awake, and we have to remain vigilant. The situation in the Atlantic is always changing, and staying informed is the most important thing you can do for your safety. If you found this breakdown useful, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. We'll be providing continuous updates on Gabrielle and any new systems that pop up. More importantly, the threat from rip currents on the U.S. East Coast is real, and it's life-threatening right now. Please share this video with anyone you know who lives anywhere from North Carolina to New England. Spreading this information could genuinely save a life. Finally, I want to hear from you. Are you seeing the effects of Gabrielle's swells on your local beaches? What are your thoughts on this incredibly intense storm? Let me know in the comments below. Your reports from the ground help paint a fuller picture for our entire community. Hurricane Gabrielle has been a sobering wake-up call. It's a testament to the raw power of nature and a stark reminder of how quickly a manageable storm can become a nightmare. We've watched it explode from a Category 1 to a monster Category 4, fueled by warm water and a perfect environment. And while a direct U.S. landfall isn't expected, its indirect impacts are severe, creating life-threatening surf and rip currents for Bermuda and the East Coast. The story of Gabrielle is a powerful reminder to respect the ocean and the storms that live on it. It highlights the disturbing trend of rapid intensification and proves that even a below-average season can produce truly catastrophic storms. We will continue to track Gabrielle as it moves towards the Azores and keep a close eye on the rest of the Atlantic. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay prepared, and we'll see you in the next update.